Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time once again for Postcard of the Week. You know, I'm 78 years old, and looking back on my lifetime here in Wichita, growing up here, I can remember so many antique shops. There was a string of them in the yellow pages in the phone book, and that's where you went to find anything you wanted. They always went to the yellow pages. You can almost hear them singing the song. But in any case, I can remember going to those shops. I was looking for campaign buttons. Soon was looking for postcards. And most of the shops had glass and china and maybe fancy furniture or a piece of needlework, things that the little old ladies that owned the shop or the mom and pops, these were the things that they had collected and loved. Maybe they had inherited them from their family and friends. And now they had a shop. They were able to sell some of this stuff, get a little bit of money out of it, maybe take a trip, maybe buy a cabin in Colorado. You just don't know their intentions. But here we were at these shops looking, before I would get my grandmother to drive me to the antique shops, which she did often and always enjoyed a little trip and a tour like that. But I would call them ahead and say, do you have any postcards, or do you have any campaign buttons, presidential campaign buttons? And they would quickly usually say no. Occasionally they'd say, yes, I have something. And so we would motor down there and see what they had. It was great. But little by little, these shops began to disappear. Maybe their rents started to rise. Maybe they were running out of merchandise. Maybe they were getting older and wanted to stop all this and go take a trip and take a bus trip, take a drive to Colorado or do something else rather than to be so, focused there at the shop day in and day out. Well, today, things have continued to change, and where we are today, Wichita is so fortunate to have Hewitt's Antiques in central downtown Wichita at 228 North Market. You can park free on the north side of their building. Market's a one-way street going north. Go there, and you just will not believe the 2 stories of shop space and of displays. Grant Hewitt and his wife Kim do a beautiful job of arranging, moving things around. They call it merchandising. But when they do a new display and they may take a picture and they may put it on Facebook, and it might be 10 lunch pails that we carried to school. It could be flower vases or a group of postcards. Whatever they do, they're always showing, they're always marketing. They do a great job. Their postcards are very well marked. They're sorted. They're in drawers. They're in albums. They're in boxes. They put their new merchandise, the things that have walked in the door or they've been able to buy at, say, an estate sale. They put those on a special table, and that's where I go each time. And they'll mark them. This is what we found in April. This is what we found in May. Well, I hadn't been in there to Hewitt's since COVID started. So it had been well over a year. But I took in the show flyers for our postcard show this coming October and left those, and then walked around the corner and sat down at this wonderful chair that's always comfortable in front of these boxes of cards. Now, these have been out for weeks and even months in some cases. Lots of people, lots of collectors and dealers have gone through there. But I went through one by one. I think they had 3 boxes to look through. And I found maybe 5 or 6 cards that I liked. We all look for different things. It's not the same thing, thank goodness. But I took my purchases to the front desk, and Grant turned them over. And he was turned them over to see the prices, to see how much money he was going to get out of me. And he started writing them down, and he sorted them out by, these were the dollars or these were the $3 ones and so forth. I even bought 3 matchbooks from Wichita Oil Company. They were in great condition. I was pleased to add them to that little collection that I have. But he turned them over, and it was marking down these prices. And you can see on the back of this particular postcard, he said, "Oh, I see you like the ones that we've clipped the corners." And I laughed. I thought it was hilarious. And I said, "Oh, yes, that's one that looks interesting." And I have another one in this same series. And I've seen it recently at home. And so plan to put this one I buy from you with the one I have at home. And, it even has a hole in it. That's the last thing you want in a usual postcard. But when we turn the cards over, we see that these, did find the one that I had at home, thank goodness. Put them together. Both of them have to do with transportation. And they're die cut. And they're made to look like a baggage tag, like you would attach to a trunk or a suitcase or a carry-on case. If you were going on a train trip, say, or even on an ocean liner later on once you got to the sea. But these both, I think, are exceptional cards in that they are well made. They're well designed. They give me the feeling of being arts and crafts. They feel like they would have been in a home with stickly oak furniture, or prints or on the wall, or tiles on the fireplace. I love that sort of look and feel. But both of these cards have that. They have kind of a soft, muted ink tone to them. Well designed. This hole that we saw on the back, when you turn it over, it's on the far left. You can see that if this was a baggage tag, that it would have this heavier cardboard going around the hole in the tag, giving it extra support so the string would not pull off easily. It would give that extra support or corner seal to that hole that holds the tag to your suitcase. But both of these have to do with travel. One is the train and one is a car. I can't wait to find others in this series. If you look at this circular part of where the hole is, it says that it was copyright in 1912 by the A.M. Davis Company. I'm just imagining that this A.M. Davis Company may be a producer of similar cards. Maybe they did a big line of novelty cards. Novelties have always been, something different at a postcard shop or on a postcard rack. Some might have glitter on them. Some may have been embossed. Some may have all kinds of differences. But this was printed on a good paper stock. You see how the corners on the right side, they're pointy. And collectors love that. They don't like to have a bent corner or one that has been tapped too many times on the edge of a hard table. They like to have pointy corners and for the card to look fresh and, really display well. If you put these in a display board at the Wichita Postcard Show, they'll really look important, and they are, because they're interesting and they're different. I started to talk about these, and I was telling my friend Alan about the text on the cards, and he thought I should sing it, but I'll refrain from that. But it says, the one with the train, "Oh, if I were a baggage tag, it wouldn't be in vain, for I would tie me on your trunk and follow in your train." The one with the car says, to take a little trip with you, I have an inclination. I'd be your baggage tag until you reached your destination. Both clever, both go with this quality type of postcard, and I look forward to adding to this mini collection and to finding out more what I can about the A.M. Davis Company. Thanks for being here this week, and oh yes, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube and in Facebook. We'd appreciate that. And remember always that our postcard show this year will be on October 16 and 17. That's the third weekend in October. Be here with us. I have more information about the show later, but mark it on your calendar and don't miss it. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Boy, these cards kind of almost make you sing, don't they? Look at this. It's like this was lyrics in a songbook. It says, oh, if I were a baggage tag, it wouldn't be in vain, for I would tie me on your trunk and follow you in your train. And looking downward, it says, to take a little trip with you, I have an inclination. I'd be your baggage tag until you reached your destination.